6 rounds, 4 nations, absolute chaos. From the silence of Wellington to a football-style header. These are the most epic moments of the 2025 Rugby Championship. Starting with round 1, when the Springboks blew the first half open, game over, right? Wrong. Joe Schmidt flipped the script. The belief was scary. Australia didn't just claw back, they ran them over. Largely thanks to the ridiculous intercept of Tom Wright, it felt more like a jog than a sprint. The final score, 22-38, Australia was back. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the All Blacks put on a masterclass, but not before my guy Thomas did this. Try of the tournament, in my opinion. Unfortunately, the All Blacks kept their perfect record alive on Argentine soil. I must give some credit to Ratima, who finally announced himself to the world. But if round 1 was unexpected, round 2 was all about changing history. This time the Wallabies had to find some kind of repeat in Cape Town, but the enforcer stepped up. Can he put an exclamation mark on the game? My guy Eben wasn't going to lose twice. But I have to take my hat off to Handré Pollard, whose flawless kicking proved he was an Iceman, especially when you need stability. He certainly calmed the storm, steadied the ship, and proved to be the difference on this Saturday night. Now, as the Boks took revenge, Los Pumas were about to make history. With a perfect record on the line, Argentina went into full-on war mode. There were yellow cards, raw power, and best of all, it was only half-time. Then, Captain Fantastic himself, Julian Montoya, stepped up, rallying his troops for this incredible Garcia try.
He's very close to the line. Garcia! Try Argentina! Gonzalo Garcia.
Argentina just defied the record book, breaking the All Blacks for the first time on home soil.
History for Los Pumas. For the first time, they beat the All Blacks in Argentina.
But as all teams had a week to reset, everyone understood that round 3 was going to be the most important of the entire tournament. First, the Springboks set their sights on the fortress. No one had beaten the All Blacks here since 1994. But could they hold on against the world champions? It wasn't just a rugby game, but the greatest rivalry on the planet. Rain poured down as Ardy entered for cap number 100.
In his 100th Test match for the All Blacks. A man who's become
The game was intense, but some Narawa brilliance opened the scoring.
Now Bowden Barrett puts a kick across to the right wing side. Where Amodi Narawa waits. He's through. Amodi Narawa. First try.
An intense back and forth followed. When Ardy stepped up,
Defense by the All Blacks.
Ardy's clutch play kept the record intact as the All Blacks did the unthinkable. Yet, the question was whether Argentina could defy the odds 2 weeks in a row. First, White opens with some brilliant play, but the real momentum shift came in the 61st minute.
You were put on a warning. We've got a clear offside here. 11 goes to the bin.
Carreras copped yellow, opening the door for the Samoan monster just minutes later. But the real moment of the week came when Harry Wilson chose not to go for a draw. Had he gone for goal, it would have been 24-all, but Australia wanted a win. They needed a win. And it paid off.
They go all in, and they hit the jackpot!
Angus Bell crashing over the line. The score is now 28-24, and the 80 is up.
They were in all sorts. They trailed by 3.
I'm not sure if I should blame the Puma discipline or just credit the pure Wallaby resilience.
It trickles through the legs to long ball. It's out. There's no one there.
Either way, the log was now getting ever tighter.
And going until this happened.
All four teams were in with a shot, and the final 3 rounds would be even more brutal,
Centre field, still there for the one.
pushing 4 nations to the brink and leaving one standing on top of the world.
That was a crucial tackle made by Tizano, but then
The Springboks were hell-bent on winning at Eden Park, but once that failed, they had one more choice. This time at the Cake Tin in Wellington, Cheslin was on fire.
Intercept! Cheslin Colby. Good night, nurse.
They denied him earlier, Cheslin Colby, but you cannot keep world-class players out of the game for long.
Let's not forget that brilliant run by Captain Sire. Then, as the Viking came onto the field, it was all about to change even more.
Damon, denied earlier, gets the 5th try for the Springboks.
Oh, record breaking. At the moment, they're smashing it, the Springboks.
The Cake Tin turned into a slaughterhouse, and the only thing on the menu was Kiwi. The Boks didn't just rally, they humiliated the All Black in the biggest defeat in New Zealand history.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow. The Springboks certainly showed up, and
It silenced all the Rassie critics, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that South Africa was the strongest rugby nation on the planet.
43 points to 10.
Yet, across the Tasman, Los Pumas were gearing up for something even more shocking. But was discipline going to be an issue for a second week in a row? That was the question on everybody's mind. But yellow to Jorgensen and later to Carreras didn't affect the game. A brilliant try by Montoya set the stage for what was about to come.
The chase coming, and then the score! Julian Montoya in his 50th as captain for Argentina. Whoa!
But Australia wasn't going to be demolished. They rallied, all capped off by Dangunu in the 78th minute.
Will this one stand? Will this one stand? Dangunu has 2.
The score is now 26-28 as Argentina went into defence mode. They held out, sealing a historic victory on Aussie soil and bringing them right back into play for the Rugby Championship. It meant that heading into the final 2 rounds, the log was close and either team was still in with a shot. Argentina headed to South Africa,
To the winner's circle in the Rugby Championship.
and the All Blacks braced themselves to defend the historic Bledisloe Cup.
Years. And tonight here at the foot of the North Island, the city will host the 110th clash between the All Blacks and the Springboks in rugby's greatest rivalry.
Round 5 kicked off in Eden Park.
It's been pretty much bolted to the floor at New Zealand Rugby HQ, but now the Wallabies are here with what many believe is their best shot at winning back a prize trophy they have not held for 22.
But the tone was set almost immediately.
Space out left, Proctor, Clark, and Ronnie Clark, Simon Aston.
Clark immediately opened the scoring when moments later, Leroy Carter scored a stunner.
And it's Leroy Carter, just relentless, absolutely relentless, the All Blacks.
But one man was gearing up for the game of his life, setting himself on par with the legendary Antoine Dupont.
Cam Roigard in his comeback test, who scores?
Some Rogar brilliance, but he wasn't even close to being done.
Barrett gets the ball on the inside to Paya. Roigard! Cam Roigard!
A game-changing yellow card to Harry Potter. And yeah, he is an actual player, set up another moment of Roigard brilliance to seal it. But back in South Africa, a young number 10 was about to do the unthinkable, having the game of his life.
So I can confirm that your on-field try is correct.
Wow. How bizarre is that?
A brain fart moment from Cheslin gave Argentina a free try. But the onslaught was about to start.
In a 50-22 here, well, he's chasing his own kick, so too Canan Mooney!
A try to Sasha, followed by yellow to Marks.
And a yellow card shown to Malcolm Marx.
Before the floodgates opened,
Ngomazulu. And Van Ngomazulu has another and valuable time eaten up with Malcolm Marx.
a hat-trick. But even more was that he scored 37 points on this day, making him the highest point scorer of a Springbok player in a single game ever. This kid is really special. And when he was finally taken off the field, Manny didn't let up either.
Vandenberg, Snyman. Again an offload in contact. Marnie Libok picks up the loose ball and breaking his way through the kick and chase from Libok.
Total confidence, proving that the Boks were simply on another level. But with those two losses, it meant both Australia and Argentina could no longer win the championship. The winner would be determined in round 6, the finale. Every minor trophy had been wrapped up already. Round 6 was going to be far more than a dead rubber. Australia had a point to prove, and they weren't going down without a fight. The weekend kicked off in Perth. Could the All Blacks win and keep themselves in contention?
Inches short.
Carter struck again. Then an illegal tackle killed an Aussie try.
On the hips and then slides down to the leg, and then as he drives through, he falls onto the limb. It's not always illegal, but it meets the yellow card threshold.
But the moment of the match came from a very unusual Tupia try. The ball coming off the head of Geordie Barrett before being regathered in something you see maybe once or twice a decade.
For Tupia. Tupia sockers it ahead. Just needs to...
Nevertheless, the All Blacks demolished the Wallabies, but now all the focus shifted to Twickenham. The atmosphere was weird, but the tension was real. Everyone knew the stakes. A Springbok win would make them back-to-back champions for the first time in the Rugby Championship.
Look at lost that first. It's there for Tupia. Tupia sockers it ahead. Just needs to fall it now and does.
And it all began with Del Guy. Argentina wasn't going to be the walkover they were a week ago. Brilliance from Reinach would break the Argentinians again.
Scrum up.
As more followed, those Marx tries proved he was a cheat code. So, the Boks were heading for a clear and easy victory, but not until Argentina had their say. But had it not been for this moment, it might have been an entirely different ball game. That single miss would allow South Africa to hold their lead, finally winning as the clock wound down. It was one of the greatest games of the year and proved that every team is now almost on equal footing.
Banco Trophy winners here in London.